Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to our next hot topic. Professor Wole Soyinka lamented over the social media the sorry state of the space. Says has fallen in recent times. He says, according to him, the space, the social media space, has been dragged down to the lowest common denominator and taken over by people he described as barbarians. And they have swapped the intellectual quotient, which used to make and still make social media valid in all societies. What are your thoughts? Of course, people have come for him from all angles on social media. How can he say that? What nonsense is that?
Really?
But what he was trying to allude to is the fact that it seems that those who have that intellect, who have the intellectual perspective, their voices have been since drowned by those he believes are barbarians who they speak with no reason, and they believe that once you're not on their side, you are the enemy. What are your thoughts on this? This is a Nobel laureate, Africa's pride, talking. And, you think to yourself that the value we used to give this man, I don't know, somewhat people have just tried to, water it down in some way. But let's hear your views on it. You can call us on 0810764 1679 09024 163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Entertainment _. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. All right. Nima, would you like to start?
Yes. I don't mind starting. So I understand the Prof very well because we all were here during the elections and how Nigerians would like to use your mouth to express themselves. So I saw his tweet and I saw the backlash. I saw people. I even saw him being dragged to this tweet, why he was forced to write the tweet. And Nigerians would rather, most Nigerians that were attacking him on his page wanted to use his mouth to hate what they hate, and like what they liked. So once he's not liking what they like in whatever he's writing, or he's not speaking against what they hate because he's not speaking at the time, they will call him out. We have Professor this, we have so and so. So we forced our national heroes to demean themselves, to turn to Twitter cloud chasers. Sadly, I know some that I held in so much respect, and I'd like to see. I never really liked Reno, for instance, but I started to agree with Reno at some point. Presently, I had some disagreements with him. Just read. I'm on their pages so that I can get some cerebral conversations. I have plenty of them like that I follow. And suddenly, some started to drop standards. Just kept saying, let me follow what I want. But I will not go on that person's page and say that Tope's mug is white. You have to say it. Is it now that Tope's mug is white that is no longer white? If you don't feel the need to talk, let him have his peace. You drag him left. He's the Nobel laureate. You drag him right. You drag him everywhere and you say he shouldn't call you a barbarian. He will, of course. He would see you attacking him constantly in his old age when he has nothing to fear and call you what you are, a barbarian.
I agree with him. I agree with him that, social media is full of noise. And it is also going to give you what you accept. It will give you what you permit. It will be full of whatever you cannot drag if I'm not moved. So if they are dragging him, he is moving. If he did not say a word, they will tag him till tomorrow, call him till next year, and if he doesn't say a word, it's still nothing. One must develop a thick skin in this world of social media noise, because if you react to everything that is calling for your attention, you will have no time for your own self. You will have no time for your own life. You cannot afford to be paying attention to everybody that is dragging you or tagging you online. That's the reality of where we are now. Noise, and most importantly, nonsense noise is the one that is trending. If you are talking sense, you are probably not going to trend much. The more nonsense you do, the more crazy you go, the more you go like out of the ordinary. People will now start asking you, why are you so extraordinary? Why are you so unusual? Just because you are doing something weird. And we are raising a generation of young children, young ones, who are now tempted to go wild just so that they can get attention on social media. We need to start reversing it. And I start from sanitizing my space. I know who I follow. If you tag me in a post that does not relate to me, I will delete. I will even respond to you. I cannot spare the time for your anyhowness. I don't have the time. I will delete your post, I will then go and block you. You don't see me again. Even on my WhatsApp story, you come there, you talk, I will block you from seeing my WhatsApp story, block you from seeing. I will block everything that does not align with who I am at that time. So I think we need to do that. Professor Wole Soyinka, you are too respected to be talking to barbarians. Leave them alone now. Simply.
Well, let me come to you, Mariam, because would you say that the Prof is also being judgmental a bit, Colleen? Because you say, where does freedom of speech stand here? People can say, they can express themselves as they choose. Okay. So for someone that say that now, describe them as barbarians, uncivilized, you know, using those words to characterize them, that's you also being judgmental, don't you think? Him being judgmental?
No, he's just categorizing them. He's just putting them in a category. He did not say everybody on social media is a barbarian. He's talking about some people and the words that they use. See, most recently, something happened at our table when the deputy governor of Edo State came here, and we asked him about his former principal. I don't know if they are back together now, Oshomole. And he said, what he said at the time in disagreement with Oshomole, he still stands by it, but the words that he used, he regrets that. And I thought it was such a powerful moment because it's important that we are aware of the words that we use and how it forms us and where it puts us. The barbarian, I'm wondering why Nigerians are upset. You people are the ones that go on social media. You want to do fire for fire. You want the people to call you savage. And now they have called you savage. You're upset. You gave yourself the name.
Exactly.
You said you're savage. It's fire for fire. I no go green. I no agree for them. They have not called you exactly what you have called yourself.
You are not angry.
Why are you angry? It does not make sense. Sometimes this English can be a bit too much. So maybe he breaks it down. I have the culture that we have as human beings. I don't even want to go to Africa or Nigeria. As human beings, is that the way that we respond to each other, the way we speak to each other, shows your culture, shows your refinement, shows your education or lack of it. So if you're the sort of person that goes about insulting people and you don't have to make a point, we're not saying don't speak, we're not saying don't make your point. Even the Nobel laureate, we know him, he makes some very strong points and has strong opinions, but there's a way that he does that. So that's what we're all saying. When we converse with each other in person or online, there has to be a way that we do that to show our refinement or lack of it, our education or lack of it, and our culture or lack of it.
Interning as a young lawyer fresh from school, I worked with one lawyer in Festac, and he was the most polite senior lawyer I've worked with. If you do something for my boss, you go, oh, thank you. I'll be like, it's office work. In my mind, though. And he wants to say, please, kindly. He had all the pleasantries to address you. You cannot go and tell the world that my boss treated you badly. And he would actually be giving you a lashing. And it will be in the most polite language. You can have an opinion on a point. We can discuss Morayo's phone. But by the time I attach Morayo's phone to the glasses she's wearing and the kind of person she is, wahala don't dey. I've already descended, I've diverted from the topic itself to something else. We can have national issues and talk about it. And the Prof himself can come and write an opinion. And I can go under his way and disagree using facts and point constructively without saying, you, Prof, that's why you have an afro. Nigerians will leave the point. Go to his afro. Go to his pedigree. Ask who his brother was, his wife was. We are still talking national issues. What are we saying? What are you saying? You now focus on him so much, trying to get him to cower into his house and leave the space for you. This is somebody who built a profession on writing his opinion, writing his fictions, writing his stories. And you say, okay, don't write again until you write what I want to hear. And if you don't write it, I will call you eyes big, I will call you afro, I will call you all sorts of things. I will come to your person.
But is it our own lack of understanding this new world?
This generation have lost how to talk. And it's a problem. I remember when I was a young, fierce and all of that, and my father would never listen to me. This is my close father I used to talk about. My immediate older sister got all she wanted. I had to learn to be polite in disagreement. I would lose my temper. I would shout. I would call people. If you find me in my temper today, you will still see me. I would be using those things. You know? I can flare like that. But I was taught in my home, whenever I'm in that space, nobody would answer me. And I would be beaten in school for what I was asking ferociously for at home. I'll be like, hey, they gave you, they didn't give me. They love you, they don't love me. And my father was like, no, you better watch your sister. It took me 2 straight years when we were in secondary school, same class, to watch her and learn how to talk to my parents.
Let me take this call from Hadiza. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Okay. Morayo.
Yeah.
You know what the government is supposed to do to this case? That to those money that they are giving the ministers and all that. Let them go to the hospitals. They work with the hospitals. The people that they are led listening to that cannot pay their bills. Let them work with them. This person, man supposed to be paid. This person, man supposed to be paid. Let them work together like that and pay. How will you on earth give some people money to be eating? Some people are there dying. Okay, look at those two men and then drop at the roadside. If that drop at the roadside, which is very wrong. The hospital is wrong. They are not supposed to do that for the woman. They're supposed to keep her there. We start looking for the husband. If they see the husband, they cannot talk to him.
Thank you,
Please come and carry.
Thank you, Adiza. So going back to Professor Wole Soyinka, you know, in trying to find that bridge between today and then, it's always important for us to bring it together, because whether we like it or not, there are lots of people that feel that they like this social media era where we can express ourselves exactly as we see it. Now, the onus is now on people like Prof, those of us who feel intellectually, we have the intellectual capacity to engage these people and get them to the point where we can reason together. Because many people feel like if we are unable to reason with these young people, you're going to lose them totally and completely. We've almost lost every young person who doesn't even believe in government. They don't believe in the way we see life and the way we see things. So do you think instead of lashing back and calling them barbarians or just castigating them into this group or saying that they are unruly, uncivilized lots on social media, we say, you know what, let us find a way to engage them better?
I think over-engaging is what has gotten us to where we are. We have engaged, and we're always engaging. It's carrot and stick. A lot of the things that we permit right now, if they had permitted it when we were younger, we would not be who we are right now. We will not develop the resilience, the discipline to do the things we're doing that is making us stand out successfully. So I think that this idea of let's listen to them, let's encourage them, let them speak up, let them... I was watching an interview. The guy was saying that if he was was in the military, he said what made him turn out the way he is right now, if he was in the military now, they would not have allowed the officers that drilled him to drill him. They will say they are punishing him. They will say they are being too harsh on him. But those drilling, they drilled him, gave him the discipline that has made him succeed as a military man and now making him succeed in business. Sometimes this over-pampering, he does not want to work on Monday. Let him sleep and work on Tuesday. Hello, when reality hits you, by the time your bills are piling up, when adulthood shows you pepper, you realize that you will work on Monday, you will work Monday morning, Monday night, Monday evening. And I should start grooming you early enough. So Professor Wole Soyinka has gotten to this particular age with the gray hair on his head that he can call out and say whatever he wants to do, he wants to say it, and there is nobody that should hold him or call him back for saying, if he calls you barbarian, take it and
let's even put it properly.
Take it with stew and soup and swallow it.
Festus, I'll come back to you. Good morning, Festus. Thanks for calling. You're live. Good morning, Festus. Okay, I think I lost that call.
Okay, so Prof says it doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong or they are right. It's just a question. Take your facts to the table. Let's examine them carefully. Consider the possibility that you may be wrong or you may be wrong, but you don't have to descend into the demonization of the group to which others belong in order to establish points. I don't deal in social media. As far as I'm concerned, barbarians have taken over social media. They have swapped the intellectual content which used to make and still make social media valid in other societies. Here in this country, social media has been dragged into the lowest common denominator. And this is Prof's opinion of how it's eating. Each of us, based on what we see, have our different opinions. Some people have so commercialized it. They run on the trends and they make their money. And you go to their comments and think, oh, they are the one expressing your opinion, whereas they are marketing it. In fact, there's a way they now come on that appeals on Twitter now. They will come and say, this person belonged to this group during the elections. He's down now. Show up for him. Some people will come every morning and say, if you belong to this group, you deserve followers. Raise your finger or something. Comment, let's see you. So we'll give you followers. It's being marketed. And so that madness, that craze, that rush, they like it. that's their strength, that's their field where they
making
play.
money.
They're making money. So when you see them go to a prof, call the president, this is not my country, they swear, and all of those things, you think they're saying the right things. The poisoning mindset. Young people who are growing up in good homes now think, no, me too, I must join them. I mustn't agree. I must, you know, when you don't want to agree, do you not agree with your reasonability, with your sense in your head? Then common sense is even a punishment because you have to wonder why the other person doesn't have it. People are constantly, and they are making their money's business, doing their businesses on this page.
I think I have a caller. Good morning. Thanks for calling. Okay, I'm going to go on a break. When I come back, we'll continue with this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing Professor Wole Soyinka. I was going to come to you, Mariam.
So I was going to say that, you know, going forward, I think we're going to see a lot more people who, you know, appreciate decent conversation, just move away from social media. Because really, social media has been overrun by people who do not care to be civil with each other. And so that would mean that when you want to go for your intellectual discourse and, you know, follow people who, you know, have intellectual proper conversations, you may not go to social media. Now, secondly, I've always said this, right? In real life, when you're having conversations, you have adults have conversation with adults. You have children have conversation, but social media opens the field to everyone. So you see a child who, in real life, would not be able to say something to you, would never even think of putting some words together and say them to you, come on social media and say everything, because they are yet to grow up. So we too, the older ones, stop playing san-san with children in the playfield. Allow them to play in the playground and find another place where, do you understand, where you have serious adult, decent conversations, and then they will know that they need to earn the right, earn the space on conversations like this. I think that's
like that. Let me take this call from Femi. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning. Good
Morning.
Morayo.
Morning, sir.
And the good ladies. Morayo, I don't blame Wole Soyinka, Professor Wole Soyinka at all. Look at it. It is not on the social media alone. Look at the presidential candidates of the party. 3 of them, because their cases did not go on their way, they were vilifying and debasing the appeal and Supreme Court to the lowest level, embarrassing level. Look at a senior son, Latin complexion one, I don't want to give the name, about the 25% of Abuja. He caused this, he caused the embarrassing discussion for the Yahoos to be saying nonsense. They are barbarians. Thank you.
Should we also blame the companies who have made social media such an attractive platform to earn revenue? Because they are taking advantage of the fact that, oh, this person has numbers. And how do you get your numbers? You get savage. How do you get numbers? You say things that trend. You get the numbers. And when you do that, you have publicity. Companies come to you, brands come to you to support them. And maybe if we can start going for those, because when you follow the money, you are able to follow the crime. So if some of these people can begin to be sanctioned for the kinds of spend they're having on some of these celebrities or some of these influencers, maybe people can rethink how I get my numbers, because, we should be giving some kind of access to the back end where I can know how you're getting these numbers. Is it through this post that was such a negative post that gave you this influx of numbers? Because of that, there's a system that can discredit the numbers or give you the kind of revenue that you expect.
Is it not the same country where Gist Lover gets sponsored ads?
Exactly.
People pay Gist Lover for sponsored ads. Somebody was saying, if you put your advert there, you will blow. I said, no, I can't put my money into a platform that funds hate, a platform that spews and destroys families and destroy lives. I am not going to put my money there, even if they have numbers. But some people put their numbers, they put their money there. They are the ones that empower the platform and make the platform continue to thrive. People don't care who the brand is. Whether you became popular by being naked or you are holding Didlo in different videos, I will still make you my brand ambassador. It's about values. And at the end of the day, social media reflects our values. You will know people's values when you follow them online. You will see what they are doing. You'll be like, okay, good. We know you. And I will know who doesn't have any values by what they post online or what you're liking or what you're commenting on. So when we realize that, you would have peace of mind. See, social media, don't kill yourself. Professor Wole Soyinka, we need you for many more important things. Leave social media people alone.
I'm sure he's not stressing it. I can assure you.
I'll come to you, Nima. Stephen, thanks for calling. You're live. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's engage our comments on social media. Go ahead.
So, we have existing laws that makes libelous what anybody writes that is false as against somebody or, any institution in Nigeria that we can also use on these people who write. But when they spew false news, they write those false news and spread it as if it's real. Maybe take a bit of truth and expand it as if misunderstand writing on it, and they know deliberately they do that and use it to gather facts. Nigerians should verify. Report that page if you know. And they handle the social media, whatever, spaces, they have their rules that you can use to report them. Recently, just towards the end of last year, I saw a video that talks about how pork meat was bad. As a Muslim, of course, that supports my faith. I shared it on my page. I did not tag anybody, neither did I call anybody. And one young lady came on and called herself a journalist, came on the comment section and personalized her reply to me, knowing I'm Muslim. I'm probably talking about my faith, and forces me to believe in pork meat. Not only in my comment section, continues to drag, and people are like, you know her. She's Muslim. She's never hidden her belief. She's writing about something she believes in. I just shared the video and say, oh, the words of God remains true.
She was trying to say that you are discriminating against those who
ate it. Hey, that's forcing me. You can go and write it on your page and say, everybody is pork meat. As in, I use my page that I work hard for to push my values. And you come in the comment section and talk about a discrimination when I did not even know your name. I didn't know where you existed. I don't know whether you eat pork, whether you don't eat it. I don't care.
Let me take this call. The last one, you're live.
To get to that point.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for the good job you guys are doing. Really appreciate it, and I'm always happy. I'm always eager to want to watch your show.
Thank you, sir. Oh, I think we're having issues. We couldn't get that. Mariam was going to jump in here.
No, I think she was going to.
Yes, I was going to round up. So you don't need to force anybody. When you see something, just as talk person, follow the pages you believe in. I used to assume that everybody following my page was Muslim. That was my earliest.
Let me.
And so I used to promote only Islamic content and share what I liked or write what I liked.
Let me come in here
over time.
I expanded it. What Professor was talking about. Okay. Because during the election period, there was a movement. Because many people will tell you, oh, the Arab Spring started with this, and that happened where young people came together and decided wanted a revolution, wanted a change. So a lot of people who identify with other parties was because they felt, listen, this is our time. So they gave in their heart, their blood, every toxicity they could find in them. They broke it out and said, you know what, we're going to get rid of the status quo. So it wasn't because they are bad in bad sense. It was because they felt that was the energy that was required to push away the status quo. And they were willing to put it on, just like, so back in the day, you get younger people fighting and going to carrying the guns. But this time, they're not carrying guns. They were on social media. So if we look at it that way, where these guys are using the tool they have to get the vote, to fight. So that was the origin or the originator of what Prof is saying concerning the way they were spewing it. Now, how do we then recondition that or realign them to be reasonable in their thinking? Instead of judging them and saying, oh, that's how they are. See that these guys did not use weapons, physical weapons for warfare. They used the social media they had to create a system because in their mind, it was a revolution. Unfortunately, the elections did not go the way many of them thought because in their mind, this is let's gather all our ammunition and get rid of the status quo and bring in this fresh blood. That was the thinking. Okay. It was not against anybody in particular. It was against the system.
So you said that how do we change the
Yes, how we realign it such is not constructive.
I have just one advice. Please, can you read the book Nigerian Public Discourse by Babatunde Raji Fashola? It would show you how you can recondition your mind to having those kind of conversations in a credible, factual, intellectual way. And you will still be listened to and respected for your opinion, whether in support of or against.
Elijah Subera, let me take this call that comes to you. Good morning, Elijah Subera.
Thank you very much. Mother, good morning. And good morning to your guests. I think Professor Wole Soyinka is 100% correct. Let me tell you, if you listen, based on his comment, and let me use this opportunity to thank Mariam. Mariam made a statement now. It clarifies issues. He said social media is a combination of people that does not care to be civil. You understand? Look at that word. That does not care to be civil. And that is what Professor Wole Soyinka is referring to. And he made it clear in some area of the world, they use social media for progressing for something tangible. And do you know the number of people that social media has destroyed in this country? And you remember what happened in the last administration, that's the Buhari regime. That is what metamorphosed Muhammadu Buhari to even suspend to Twitter. You remember? So these are these are the essence of what we are talking about. So Professor Wole Soyinka is 100% correct. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
I wanted to respond to you when you said it was a movement and they used what. But you know when a tool, how can you tell when a tool has been hijacked? What do you know that is the goal of the person who's pushing a particular narrative that you jump on and you think the person expresses your beliefs or is fighting your fight? You really can't tell. Recently, a young lady said her husband was eating somebody's food in the office, and so she started making food. And a lot of people started to gift her. Initially, when I read it, when I saw what she wrote and how they were gifting, I thought, oh, everybody just thought she needed help, and they were helping her. Whereas there was a movement,
an agenda,
pushing the home narrative as opposed to, strong women pursuing careers. And, they were attacking those women, and those women too were attacking her. So you really can't tell the ideology behind anybody's movement. Because you cannot tell. Me personally, when this artist was recently died, and everybody said, right? I said, I don't know what is happening here. People have been dying on the streets of Lagos. Nobody is speaking their bodies. Nobody is starting a movement. What exactly is happening? Till today, I don't understand, because I don't know why the noise died. Yeah. The artist has still not been... What exactly was the rush? Everybody, if you did not write it, you did not post it. Interests. And somebody had to send me a comment. You are not talking about this. Why would I talk about something I can't understand? We can allow people their time to hibernate, understand, digest, whatever, before they write an opinion. On their pages. It doesn't have to be with trend, cloud chasing all the time.
I think that's a very valid point. Go ahead, Tokwe.
So for me, I feel that when we start understanding that is not everybody on social media that is thinking and saying things from your perspective. Like, social media it's a leveler. Someone that did not, as in, it accepts everybody. Somebody that did not even go to school that cannot read is there. He will type what is on his mind. The one that cannot speak English is there. He has plenty of followers. You that you now went to school, studied, you have such exposure. You are now expecting someone with a totally opposite worldview to understand your intellectual conversation. It is extreme, like it's a waste of your time. So I have learned to see people, I see a comment, I check the person's page, the person does not have one post, or the person is private, or the person has just one post, and the person is commenting, and I'm afraid to react to the person. I don't have the time to entertain your anyhowness or entertain your lack of vision or your anyhowness. So me oraye in this year I know they agree.
You used about 3 times already.
Yes,
okay.
because I've seen that online. There are many people that I have too much self-knowledge and self-awareness for me to entertain them. And I think many people need to love themselves enough not to take the hate or accept the evil or accept the insult. So much that I have blocked a lot of blogs. I have blocked it. That Instagram cannot even suggest it to me. I can't stumble into it in my explore because I don't want to be distracted from my purpose for the year. So if you like yourself, it's so early in the year that you can start sanitizing your page so you don't see what you don't want to see. On a final note, when you choose to now respond to those things, like you decide to want to give them, when you give, be ready to receive back what they give to you. Because the moment you respond, you have opened up the channel.
Yes, you have joined them. What's that guy say? That actor.
You fight with pigs. Don't complain you are smelling. You will stink.
That actor that you told me to reply, I said, I'm not going to talk to you.
I'm so happy.
About that guy.
Oh,
yes.
I am so happy you did not reply.
I totally ignored it.
Oh, thank God
now
you did not.
You want to use me to be right. Forget about it. Yeah. Let me take this call. Hamed, you're live.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes.
See, Professor Wole Soyinka is, in fact, if I qualify him to say 1,000% correct. You know, most people on this social media, they are like I don't know. They are like parrots. You understand? They are like they don't like notice me. I don't want to mention me. You understand? Like notice me. Let me just say something, or let me just say something. You understand? Even it applies to all these especially most of these government officials, all these businessmen, all these people that have small money, that you just make money. You just want people to know that you have money, you know, to showcase, which is very wrong. We need to change our orientation. We need to change it in this country.
Thank you very much, Hamed.
Yeah.
You know, so okay.
Biliki says, Miriam, you know a fool doesn't want to be called a fool, even when they already know they are foolish. That's how it is. Barbarians might sound like big grammar, but those who throw insults online as easy as they breathe have already shown us who they are. Immaculate Boy says, please, how is the social media space going to be different from the Nigerian life? Agberos or Monile, etc. on our street isn't any different from our Twitter street. Every country's social media is a reflection of its people. Biliki said, it's hypocrisy and defensive mechanism. Is it a lie that some elements have made social media their venting place because they transfer aggression, throw shades and clap back at anyone, age irrespective? We have witnessed this over and over again in the claim of freedom of speech.
Yeah. I was just going to say, you know what, this conversation is really about, it's not about Wole Soyinka saying that social media in its entirety or people who are on it in their entirety are barbarians. It's about how some people behave. And so some of the words that we use for ourselves, let us understand what it is that we're using. I want to use this word, I want to give us the dictionary meaning of savage, because I hear a lot of people say, I'm savage here. Savage, of an animal nature, fierce, violent, and uncontrolled. Something bad or negative. So when you say you're savage and someone says you're also a barbarian, it's putting you in the same category as you have named yourself. If you want to rename yourself, if you don't want to be called a barbarian, if you know you're not savage, don't call yourself savage, don't act like that, and you will be respected or disrespected for how you have categorized yourself.
Okay, we're going to be wrapping up very soon. Let's take a few comments on social media so that they don't feel left out in this. But going back, dictionary meanings, saying that barbarian also means a person from an alien land who is believed to be inferior, uncivilized, or even violent.
That's
so you have given yourself that category. But let's take a few comments and then we
Williams
wrap
Davis
up.
says, everyone is entitled to their opinion, so make them free, Prof. Prof opinion.
And they who are responding to Prof too are also entitled to their opinion.
Yes, on our earliest topic, Mrs. Collier Ade says, Nigerians should learn to invest in health insurance care. It's highly important as Ashwebi, please. And she also says Miriam is referring to a place called a hospice in developed countries where terminally ill people can be taken
that word was just in my head.
Care. It could be done by government or private entities.
Hospice.
Mr. Adebayo says there are a lot of factors that make social care expensive. Reasons the retirement age in the UK was increased as you have to work more, get taxed and live less. Can Nigeria adopt same strategy, a country where we hardly pay tax? He also mentioned that for homeless people, we have discharged from hospital. They are put in a hotel for a while and let the local council via social service deal with it. The hospital is not the place to house homeless people.
What is paying for that now? It's not.
Yes, the council. That's what I said. The council is paying.
What do we even take away from our COVID experience? We had a place where people were compelled to stay, and you know, some monies were paid.
There was a whole fund for that.
Yes.
And some people still chopped out of it.
They chop out.
Anyway, we have to wrap up. But I think really from Prof's comments on social media, I feel that the bigger problem is conversations. And we need to have the right kind of conversations. And young people need to be engaged properly. And just like Takwe has said, maybe because we've allowed them, we've indulged them, that's why maybe that it hasn't been, we haven't really helped them to see how to constructively debate an issue and get perspectives from different angles. However, in the same vein, we are also responsible enough to know how to engage even those before us. So if you are a tweeter, you don't agree to Professor Wole Soyinka, you have to have a way to engage him in a constructive conversation. So I think it's both ways. We need to be responsible to know how we engage them. They also need to be responsible on how to engage the older people. And I think Prof is somebody that is well respected. He's a national pride, an African pride, and we should, as you said, 89 years.
89.
He has every right to say what he chooses, when he chooses, and how he chooses.
Why is 1K yet? But
Why can't here every day giving us savage? I mean, what's we call?
That's all.
Let's use it to give it to us back to back.
Have a great day. I think, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.